So, I've had just like a moral decision with Adobe. With my work, like the only, I guess a perk would be I get to use Adobe for free. I have this suite, so I've seen all the issues and I've seen the things that have come along and I've seen how they're treating their users, essentially people that pay, and it's kind of like I don't want to be part of that. So I tried DaVinci Resolve. DaVinci Resolve works pretty well. I've figured out most of it, and whatever else I could just go up on YouTube, and there's a bunch of documentation and people with videos try to how to do stuff. But then, like the other big dog in the room is Final Cut Pro. So that was always in the back of my mind. Maybe I should just use Final Cut Pro because it's a one-time payment, and then it'll be mine, and I don't have to worry about, oh, well, my job doesn't want to have it anymore, or this and that, and it'll just be mine. And the thing I like about it is a one-time payment. It's not cheap, but it's a one-time payment. So I prefer that type of methodology, and it's all in the Apple sphere. So they do, it's not protected, but more, it's just, it runs better with the hardware too. It's supposed to be faster. That was one of the things that I've seen a while back where people were doing Final Cut Pro and Adobe Premiere test, and Final Cut Pro is usually a little bit faster because it's like meant for that's written in the operating system and meant for it and blah 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 or whatever. All that to say, I just got Final Cut Pro. We start a screen recording, and let's flip and see what we got. So this is the first time it didn't like any of my audio plugins, but I don't know why it would. I guess it would go through it because I'm not totally sure. Maybe somebody wants to chime in as to why it looks through my audio plugins. Because it went through my Logic plugins and it didn't say, these are incompatible. And it's like, yeah, I'm not going to be plugging my guitar into play on. I'll be editing the videos in Final Cut Pro, but I won't be playing in Final Cut Pro, if that makes any sense. So here are what's new in Final Cut Pro: enhanced light, slow-mo, advanced timeline search, all these things. This is like, because it's the first time I just installed it about, 10 minutes ago. And I turned the camera on and here we are. So, I've used Final Cut Pro on my iPad. So I have a very vague idea of what I'm supposed to be doing. So let's see. Let's go into, yeah, okay. So I have allow. I can just select this and choose import selected. So okay, there's 4 video clips. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that all together? Yeah. So I'm just going to walk through it real quick. I'm going to put this video together. This is cutting my hair volume 156, I think. And it's funny. My wife, it was like a year or two ago. My wife was like, "You realize when you make a hair cutting video and then you name it volume whatever, that's kind of funny, but it's. Are you aware?" She's like, "Did you know that you made a joke?" I was like, "That's why I married you." You're the only one that's ever realized that those are it's jokey that I'm like talking about. Anyway, so what I normally do with this type of video, I just put like 1, 2, 3, 4, like just because that's the quickest way to do it. You can do multi-video, and I'll probably figure that out at some point. But as for now, does it look? It kind of looks. Like I said, I've seen it in theory, but in practice for a desktop version. But this is my now old MacBook. It's 4 years old. It just turned 4 years old, like a week and a half ago. I use this thing almost every day, and I really use it. Because it's like, if I'm going to drop this kind of cash, I'm going to really make sure that I get the most out of it. So anyway, new multicam. I can do a multicam clip. I'm just going to choose new project and then name it. I always get the numbers wrong, but all right. So that's that one. Okay, so if that's the case, and I just drag them down. Okay, so this isn't, so in theory, I do my clap right here so that way there's a loud noise to sync it with. I don't know, ooh, that's probably bad, huh? Let's take that back down. Maybe I'm supposed to go like that. I'm just eyeballing it right here. I don't know if there's a sync option, so let's see if there is a sync option. There's gotta be, I just don't know where it is. So this is a great video if you don't know what you're doing and you want to watch somebody else who doesn't know what they're doing. This is not an instructional video. I think the only things I've ever gotten close to doing an instructional video are like when I make bread. But even at that, I mean, I'm as surprised at a good result as somebody who's watching it would be. So, is this the proper place you edit things in? I did the DaVinci video and then somebody came in and said, oh, you should go here to do this and that. And I was like, oh, well, that makes sense. So let's see one thing real quick. How do you save? No? Huh. So it's a few days later from that first clip. I like to have the files in a particular order in a particular place, and Adobe does that. DaVinci and Final Cut Pro just kind of put it off in a folder, and then you have to. DaVinci, I still haven't totally figured out, and I just stopped using it because it was just. I can't wrap my head around it. It doesn't mean it's bad, it's just I can't wrap my head around it. And I'm so used to Adobe, I've used it for like 6 or 7 years now. Moving to Final Cut Pro, some of it makes sense, but to me it just still feels a bit wonky. Just learning curve. It's not that it's bad, it's just that I'm learning it. So what I've ended up having to do, I'm still like the file structures and like how autosave is nice, I guess. But I'd rather have, okay, this is a video, this is a folder, I put the video in the folder and I make there's a rhyme, there's a reason behind it, I'm assuming, but I don't know, it just doesn't work with my head. It's a fault of mine that I have to just learn. It would have been nice if I just started with Final Cut Pro maybe, and then I learned it that way, because now I know what I want to do and I have things that I need to put out, and having to sit around and learn it, it's great and it's fun, but there are times where I'm like, okay, I need videos for next week. I have them all on the hard drive, but I just need to edit them together, and they're not like linear things that I normally do. The time where I started deciding to change is the time where I decided, hey, I need to have screen captures and have video in different places. I'm assuming it can be done. I'm just haven't figured out how to do it yet, and at Adobe I know how to do it right away. So I'm still having, I was trying not to step back into Adobe, but I'm just having to. So like this part, I filmed the first part and I realized I didn't screenshot the second part, which is me sort of figuring it out. And then I tried to do it again with this video and the proportions wouldn't change. I don't know why. Like, I'm just trying to scale one video down so it'll sit in the corner and the other video will be the main part. I got it to work before, but I can't get it to work with this video. It's a big learning curve. I'm whatever week I'm putting this video out. Let's look at the calendar. So, like, yesterday's video is completely Final Cut Pro. This video is Adobe. The first part, no, it's all Adobe. It's all Adobe. Most of the videos coming out from, what is it? 1, 2. So the last 2 videos, because I'm going to put this out on a Wednesday, the last 2 videos were completely in Final Cut Pro. This one where I'm talking about Final Cut Pro isn't. Welcome to my world. So I'm going to try to make another video. I need to make a video about star lapse, because I do star lapses. I take the camera and I put it out and it takes pictures all night, and I meld all the pictures together. You're supposed to be able to do that in Final Cut Pro. I've been doing it in Adobe for years. I stopped doing it in Adobe about a month ago, and I started doing it only in QuickTime. So that way it's out of Adobe and I just do it in Quick. It works around the same amount of time to create it. So that's all this to say that I'm still learning Final Cut Pro. It's a little bit steeper of a learning curve than DaVinci. DaVinci was a little bit easier to use, but I hated the file system. There's got to be a better way to do that file system, and I just don't know it. Final Cut Pro is a little bit more, but a little bit less, and it's just it's not complicated. It's just that I don't know how to use it, and I'm under a time crunch with trying to make videos every day, so I have to just sit down with it and take regular videos that I make and just work with them and try to figure out a work process, a method to do everything. So I'll just keep trying.